Welcome back to Super Talk Outdoors from the Open Seasons Property Studio. Listen, are you looking to purchase that perfect piece of hunting property, upgrade your farm equipment, or have you been dreaming of owning your slice of heaven out in the country? Look no further than Mississippi Land Bank for your financing needs. For more than 100 years, farming families and landowners in North Mississippi have turned to Mississippi Land Bank for all kinds of financial solutions, whether it's for land, equipment, or livestock. For more information, visit mslandbank.com or go by and visit one of their friendly staff at any of their offices, Mississippi Land Bank. Hey, listen, I really enjoyed that conversation with Todd Adkins from the the Sportsman's Alliance. The work that they're doing to fight anti-hunting efforts all over the country is truly remarkably important. And as he pointed out, he could use 100 lawyers. There's plenty of work to be done. Thank goodness they don't have to spend much time in Mississippi. We're aligned in Mississippi when it comes to enjoying the outdoors. That's how you stay the capital of the outdoors in America. Now let's shift gears and move over to my friend Captain Ronnie Daniels, somebody I always enjoy checking in with. He's a charter boat captain here in coastal Mississippi, where incidentally the fishing has never been better than it is right now. Ronnie, how you doing, my friend?
Man, I am doing great. Loving this weather. It's so nice to not sweat on the boat every day.
Isn't it awesome, man? I mean, it has been cool mornings, a little bit, warm, but not hot afternoons. And as I said, man, listen, our experience in the backwaters of coastal Mississippi, we do a lot of fishing, as you know, has been absolutely insanely good. Redfish, speckled trout. The speckled trout are running huge, lots of shrimp and bait. It has been some of the best we've seen in a long time right now.
And, Ricky, one thing that this time of the year offers people, if you don't have a big, everybody thinks you've got to run a long ways to catch fish. You don't have a big boat or you're confined to the backwaters, to the bays. Right now is your time to shine. Most of our trips, I think I ran 7 trips and I burned like 50 gallons of gas in my boat. The back bay over on our end, I don't know about your end, I'm pretty sure it's the same, but Bay St. Louis, the mouths of the rivers, all that, they're just loaded with fish and bait. Everything is going, it's right where it's supposed to be this time of the year.
Isn't it great to see? And you and I talk about this a lot, but well, first of all, let's take speckled trout, for example. One of the, what you want to see is bait. And you see plenty of bait. I mean, if you find the bait, you'll find the speckled trout. The second thing is they're very salinity sensitive. So you want to see saltwater salinity. Unlike the redfish, who can be kind of sensitive to not sensitive to brackish water. Speckled trout's they're going to find the clearer water. They're going to find the more water with the salinity is a little bit higher. I don't care how you describe it. Coastal Mississippi is for speckled trout right now, isn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yesterday I was on a trip and we were out at Cat Island, and there's not a whole lot of things that just kind of stop me in my tracks on the boat anymore. But I looked out across there, and I mean, I felt like I was in Florida. It is absolutely gorgeous out there right now.
Yeah, what he's talking about is the clear water. One of the the truth is Mississippi Sound can look brown or muddy. That's because the bottom is muddy. But when you get calm water, especially this time of year when it's cool weather, you don't have as much of whatever the growth is that causes the water to be a little bit more murky. The reality is right now, the water is as clear and as beautiful. It's like literally when you're at fishing the shallows of Cat Island, for example, it's like you could blur your eyes and swear you were in Key West.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've got this beautiful green colored water in here right now. It's clear. You can see the bottom. You can see the sandbars. I mean, I was running back in and came around the west end of Cat Island, and where I was running, I knew I had plenty of water, but I kept checking things. I was like, am I about to hit bottom?
I mean, you knew you've done it 1,000 times. I know, man. It's that you're actually seeing what you're normally running over, and you're used to looking at you don't even have to look at your depth finder anymore because you just know where you can run and where you can't run. But you're used to looking at your depth finder because you don't really see the bottom usually. But this time of year when you do see the bottom, that's like when when we're diving in Turks and Caicos, for example, and we might be in 20 feet of water, man, and we're going over some reefs, and it looks like it's 2 feet deep. It offends your senses, doesn't it?
Yeah, man, it'll really throw you off. And the fish and all the species. A lot of our trips, I don't fish a whole lot of live bait, but if we go in the back bay or something, I'll take live shrimp. And those trips that we've been doing, we're seeing 8, 9, 10, 11 different species of fish per trip. The flounder is still around. We're seeing some good sized flounder. The redfish bite has been better than maybe I've ever seen it in my entire life. I mean, we have caught more 20 to 22 inch redfish than I could count.
That's so awesome. I went with my grandkids to just throw the net the other day, and we caught 7 different species just throwing the net. I mean, again, the fishing is really good. And you know what's interesting? For people who have not been to coastal Mississippi this time of year, you don't think of, you think of the beach and laying out in the sun or enjoying the pool and whatever. You don't typically think about this being such an amazing place to be this time of year for fishing. And and you guys stay pretty busy, don't you?
Oh, it's every day. Mid-September till about Thanksgiving, we're booked every single day. I've said it for years. Football season starts, a lot of people forget about fishing. Obviously, once hunting season starts, a lot of people fall off on fishing, but October, even through the end of November, even into December down here with our climate that we have, is some of the best fishing of the year, especially if you're wanting to catch numbers of fish, just sheer volume. We put a lot of fish in the boat during those months.
Hey, so the other thing that's great this time of year, and you may occasionally do this, but to get a little bit offshore, you don't have to go super far. I mean, on a normal day, I might run 200 miles, 100 miles of just running around and 100 miles to get back home again. But you can go 20, 30 miles offshore. And if you find some tide lines or whatever, you might find some mahi. You might find some cobia. Cobia fishing is great this time of year. I'm seeing great reports offshore right now.
Yeah, I've been seeing some pictures too. I don't really do much of that anymore. I used to enjoy it a lot. I spent a lot of years doing it, and my boat rarely makes it past the marsh. If it does, it's stopping at Chandelier. That's about as far as I go.
Chandelier is awesome, man. I've had the opportunity to have some shows about Chandelier recently. What's interesting, even though Chandelier is actually officially in Louisiana waters, you might as well call it partly Mississippi's, because you think
Joint
about
custody.
Well, once you get to Cat Island, you can of course, you can go west of Cat Island and get into the Biloxi Marsh, which is Louisiana waters, or you can go south from there and be in the Chandelier Sound and fish the grass beds and all of that. That's what I like to do. I mean, wading's fun. I'll go wade, but I like being in the boat with a bunch of guys and just floating the grass beds and popping some corks. There's just something traditional about that to me.
Yeah, it's absolutely good. I really enjoy being in the water with them, whether it be wade fishing for trout or gigging flounders. But drifting over those grass beds is great as well. You can cover a lot more water that way.
You really do. Hey, we're going to talk about some really important community work that my friend Ronnie Daniels is involved in. We'll do that when we come back from break in just a second. But Ronnie, when you look at your client list, where are people coming from?
Ricky, it's all over. This is my 13th season of doing it, so I've got a pretty good book of repeat clients. So my calendar books up pretty quickly with those people, which are typically within 2 or 3 hours of here. We get a lot of out-of-town clients as well. A lot of times I'm putting those on the boats with our other guys, but I have openings where I take some of them too. We're a world-renowned fishery. I've had people from 6, 7 different countries on my boat, and I'd venture to say probably nearly all 50 states in the United States have fished with us.
Yeah, isn't that awesome? It's awesome that they come here, and you get to be part of the effort to dispel myths about Mississippi. When they come here and they see what we've got, and they meet our people, and they go, "Holy mackerel! Why did I not know about this?
It's amazement on their faces once they get here. I love seeing people that are coming here for the first time because they're like, wow, where did this come from? How has this stayed hidden for so long?
Speaking of hidden, I got a really important point I'll make about that on the other side. But when we come back, we'll continue our conversation with Captain Ronnie Daniels and this great celebration of the fishing we have in coastal Mississippi. We'll see you after this break. Welcome back to Super Talk Outdoors from the Open Season Properties Studio. Thank you so much for joining us. No matter what kind of hunting you are into, whether you're looking for 40 acres or 4,000 acres, if you're looking to buy land, you need someone you can trust. He's a hunting land hunter. Call Lake Pickle from Open Season Properties at 601-750-2487. And by the way, listen, I want to thank you for listening to Super Talk Outdoors. We are really thrilled to be here. Super Talk Mississippi Radio Network is the king in Mississippi. But listen, some people listen to Super Talk Outdoors at supertalk.fm, at Amazon Alexa, the SuperTalk Mississippi app, or on SuperTalk TV at C Spire TV. Some of you watching on YouTube and Facebook or listening on your favorite podcast. We try to be there wherever, whenever you want to engage in the show. We really appreciate you listening and watching, and we also appreciate you sending notes of appreciation back to us. We thank you as we continue to celebrate this. We have Captain Ronnie Daniels, who's with me today. He's one of the top charter boat captains here in coastal Mississippi, and we're talking about how great the fishing is. You mentioned this about bringing people from all over the country who see that Mississippi's hidden coast. And I just wanted to, one of the shows I had recently on my other show, the Ricky Matthews Show, is with Peter Greenberg. And Peter actually is one of the top travel writers in the United States. He's with CBS News, CBS Morning Show, CBS Sunday Morning. He's got production crews that work in 7 countries all over the world, and he's got several different themed shows that he does. But one is Hidden Coast, and he had never done a hidden coast in the entire United States before. He's been all over the world, but he's never done one in the United States. And he finally did one. And the first one he picked is Mississippi. He had we recently premiered Hidden Coast, Mississippi, and it's going to be playing all around the world, Ronnie. I mean, it's incredible that he picked here. Listen, man, he did such a fine job with it. But it's great to dispel myths and show them what we really have here, isn't it?
Absolutely. People are so delighted whenever they get here. And look, the Gulf of Mexico's got some incredible fishing places, especially the upper Gulf of Mexico. But, I've had a lot of clients that would go to some of these really good places that are not too far from us. And then they fish here and they realize, hey, I can catch the same fish right here, but I've got all these dining choices. I've got all these other activities for my family. I can get my wife to come down here with me. We can bring the kids. They can go do whatever. We can fish. We can do it all. We've got everything to offer right here.
Yeah, it is super cool. Hey, listen, Ronnie, one of the things that I love that you help to organize and do is a focus on kids and bringing kids in the outdoors, especially kids that may have some challenges. More recently, your event, and we'll let you tell more about it. It had to be rescheduled because of inclement weather, and it's actually been rescheduled for later in October. So tell people about what you're committed to and how many partners you have and how many people are involved in bringing this to life.
Absolutely, man. This is one of my absolute favorite events of the year. So it's called Fishing with Buddies. Buddy Sports is an organization. Mike Crawford from right here in Pass Christian started it, got that going, and they do everything from horseback riding to baseball. Now we do fishing with these, and I always call them kids, but it's not just kids. We have some young adults that participate in this too, but it's people with special needs. And earlier this month, we were supposed to have our event here in Pass Christian. I think we had 45 participants coming and a lot of volunteers. We, as you said, had to reschedule it. We have it coming up next week, Tuesday, the 29th. We're always looking for volunteers, especially if you have a boat. And you don't have to be a charter captain. Our charter captains have been great. They donate their time, they donate their boats. But even if you're just a recreational guy, even if you have a pontoon boats are great because we can put wheelchairs on them. Reach out to us, get in touch with me. You can find me on Facebook. I'm pretty easy to find online, or Mike Crawford, and we'd love to have you come down and help out and volunteer. We do this every year in October. They also do an event in Gulfport each year, and they're always looking for volunteers for that as well.
It's a great setup. I mean, you guys coming out of the Pascagoula Harbor, and of course having access to the charter docks there is adjacent to Shaggy's. It's a pretty good setup, isn't it?
Yeah, and you bring up Shaggy's at Charter Dock we have. It's a great event place. We've got the downstairs, we've got our big docks, plenty of room for everybody to spread out. And in typical fashion of Bremer Covington and Shaggy's, they really open the doors for this event. We'll take these participants out and we'll fish for about an hour, hour and a half. It's all about the experience. The fish are second line to the experience, right? And then whenever we pull back in, Shaggy's has a whole spread laid out. They do a full buffet. Everybody gets to eat and just fellowship, hang out, and enjoy each other.
Yeah, thank Bremer Covington Jr. for that commitment, and all the charter boat captains that are engaged in that, and recreational fishermen and other volunteers that make that such a special event. Coming up at the end of October 29th, right?
Yep.
Yeah, next
at
Tuesday.
4:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah. Listen, Captain Ronnie Daniels, thanks for joining me, my friend.
Hey, it's always a pleasure. I hope you shoot a big one this year.
Yeah, and even if we don't, man, we're going to have a good time in the outdoors.
Right.
Listen, everybody enjoy themselves. Have a great week. Stay safe when you're in the outdoors. Always put safety first. And we will see you next week. God bless you.